Pepper. Group. Followed from the 22nd at 1200 Zulu. At 1200 Wind 310 degrees, 12 knots, gusting 22 knots, visibility 6 miles, light snow 1,507, ceiling 5,000 overcast, temporarily 1200 Zulu, visibility 3 miles, light snow, blowing snow, ceiling 1,500. From 1300 Zulu, wind 290 degrees, 15, gusting 25 knots, visibility more than 6 miles, ceiling 4,000 feet, temporarily 1300 Zulu until 1700 Zulu, visibility 5 miles, light snow, blowing snow, becoming between 1500 1700 Zulu, wind 290 degrees, 12 knots, gusting 22 knots. Becoming, valid from the surface of this view until at 1200, wind 350 degrees, 1 more than 6 miles.
Good morning, Nick here. Nope, did not get a new radio. Had this for a long time. But I've actually had a couple of different people request videos on this radio. I'm not surprised. The first time I saw it in a picture on eBay or something, I think that's probably the first time I ever knew that it even existed. I was just cruising eBay a few years ago, and I'm like, this was popped up, and I'm like, oh, that's a cool looking radio, man. And funny thing, I wound up with it. But I've had it, and I mean, I use it once in a while. I mean, you can see the clock is set. So for the last month or so, this has actually been my table radio. Okay, so it's been sitting on this table. I don't know if you paid attention to the last several videos I've done. This is sitting in the background, and the clock is set. All the presets are set with my favorite FM stations. Oh, interesting.
Merry Christmas.
Place your order by tomorrow at 9 p.m. at eatsies.com.
18 through 1225.
In the nice weather. But with the time we have left, I want to thank you guys for supporting us.
Oh, that's an AM one. I only have 3 FM presets.
Something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer.
AM.
And our money-back guarantee. Just one at K12 bias and energy. It's a terrible day. Every single day we're grateful.
You can tell the propagation is terrible. Oh, I got the BFO on. I'm a dumbass. And I got the manual gain on. I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys and gals. Narrow, wide. All right, so let's kind of listen to that again. It is 5:55 a.m. and the propagation is terrible. So that's all true.
Croco Roofing wishes you and your family a season fit.
Now, thanks to Sky Rizzy and
EPI.com and speak with your doctor.
Helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now.
Plus, unlock more.
Nice. Yep, it's definitely wrestling with your own hubris. See a specialist like me in person. Now,
Before these last-minute deals.
Pro Community. Quality.
allergic to Sky Rizzy. Serious allergic reactions and...
So yes, and then you can scan through your memories if you want to. It's also, let me scoot up. You can also touch these quick access bars to the meter, the broadcast listening meter bands. So if you want to listen to 49 meters, and it jumps to 5950, which is, depending on who you listen to or what reference you read, is the beginning of the 49 meter band. I've seen some references say 5800, whatever. Not that that's too important. And same thing for all these bands. So it'll jump to, whatever. I think there's a little glare there. So there's an FM there. There's your power button up there. I think it only goes up into the low 26,000s. So I can't do my 28 megahertz beacons on this thing. You saw the light. The light works good in low light. During the day, if you hit the light button, you almost can't even tell it's on, but why would you need it to be? You know what I'm saying? Another thing that's jacked me around on this radio, not the radio's fault, my fault, the battery check. So if you push the battery check, it locks in at the power of your batteries and it's locked until you push this again and you go back to tuning meter. And again, it's not an S meter, it's a tuning meter. So I've talked before about the difference between that, and sometimes it's just very confusing, all right? But anyway, I'm getting a lot of glare. Maybe I need to turn a light off here. Well, let me try something. Worse. Better. Okay. Yep, just call me Cecil B. Demented. Yep, always come prepared to make movies. All right. Yeah, that's a good angle. And another cool thing about this radio, if you'll notice, it says speaker. Okay, so let's put it on FM. That would be A1.
The Chargers were leading the NFL in points per game allowed.
Whoa, what happened?
500 yards, 40 points.
See that? That's a speaker.
This Bucs team.
It's about the size of a phone book, an old school phone book.
He's got to be, Scott, one of the all.
And you can turn that big ass speaker on and off.
I'm so impressed with his consistency year after year, the durability, the production. He is a Hall of Fame player in my mind without any question at all. Should be a really good.
So those buttons, I mean, the radio presents very well. It's designed, the aesthetics. It really, to me, it really looks very, very nice. And then all those lights, and then, like I said, the meter bands all light up. All right, so if you push one of these, you get the red light for the button you pushed. It's great. I mean, it's a nice touch, nice contrast to the black and gray radio with the red lights. The meter, it works. Is it a Grundig analog meter? No. All right, but take what you can get. The radio seems to be very, very much on frequency. And one way that I tell is on the radios that have a BFO, so you turn on the BFO here, and then you can actually push this button and it turns off the AGC and puts you into MGC, manual gain control, and then you can adjust the RF here, the gain. So, but if you're using the BFO and you put the BFO on, if you can get your USBs here, you see the little top tick mark on this knob? If you can get your USBs here and your LSBs here, or most of your signals, with that tick mark near the top like that, that means that you're very close to that frequency or on that frequency. As opposed to, like, if it gets older or off frequency, you might have to tune in USB like way the hell down there, or maybe even go up 1 kilohertz and then pull this back or something like that. So, though the radio performs very well, it's very easy to tune in sideband signals. All right, like some radios are not. Some of these older radios with the BFOs, like the Panasonic portables, part of their, I gotta get my fingers, Command series. All right, like I did the video on those a month ago or maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, that's like herding cats. Okay, trying to tune in a BFO on one of those things. All right, it's like pulling teeth. But this one gets right after it. It's got, all right, so you got your BFO on off, you've got your AGC, MGC selector, BFO tuning knob. This only works if you're in MGC. So if you're on AGC, then this doesn't do anything. Bandwidth, out is wide, in is narrow, and then this is a local DX, kind of like, you can use it as an attenuator, I guess. But except for strong medium wave broadcasts, I'll usually just leave it on DX. Bass treble volume. The tuning knob has a clicker, a detent. It clicks for every, and you can't change the, there's no tuning step change, or nothing I've been able to find. Now, I think that if you twist it quickly, it goes faster. Maybe. Some of those radios did that. I can't remember if this one does. But, no, it works nice. The controls are nice. The ergonomics are nice. The quality of the switches are nice. I like it a lot. And it sounds very good. The audio reproduction and the sound, and you have the option for this big speaker, and I never turn it off. I mean, it sounds really nice. It's convenient to have a few memories, all right? I don't know why anyone would ever need 4,278 memories, okay? It's like, how do you know what number was that one? Oh, that was 4,116. Oh, really? Yeah, because I memorized them all. Sure. Okay. Anyway. But no, this is a very nice radio. Like I said, the quality of the controls is excellent. And you can tell that when you push a switch or you twist a knob, it's very, very nice feel, very good quality. And I mean, I don't know a lot about these. There's not a ton of info out there on these, but, and then this radio was also made by another company. This one's a Magnavox, but there was another manufacturer, maybe it was private labeled or something. I'm sure they were made at the same place, and then they just put different names on them. So this one's a Magnavox. There was another one in it, so it looked the same, but it was called something else. And I forgot what that was. But I gotta assume that this radio was probably made late 80s or 90s, maybe, I'm guessing. But in that era, there was a lot of plasticky radios, and this one is very nice quality. And I had this radio in a recent video over the summer, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, whatever. I included it in a comparison against a Drake SW8 outdoors on the telescopic antennas. And that was the only time I ever had this radio on a video, because I went back and looked. And then some people asked me to do a video on this radio. So a couple of people, I think 3 different people asked. I'm like, okay, well, dang, I only got like 5 viewers, right? So if 3 of them asked for a radio, it's like, I better do one or I'll be out of business, right? Not that this is a business. So we are hooked to the Wellbrook. Let me show you the back. I brought my flashlight. So the external antenna connector right there, it's the old school original Grundig, not the original Grundig, but it's the Grundig style that's really weird. It's like some proprietary weird push in. It doesn't click, it doesn't thread. You just push it in, and it is, you can't use anything else. And I just got lucky and happened to have one from an old Grundig, and that's what this one took, right? And then over there, there's a switch for FM antenna and AM antenna, and you can select internal or external for either. And then there's some other outputs or whatever. The connector right next to it, that one is for the FM side. That one's for the AM side. But it's a nice sized radio. It looks very nice. That speaker on top is awesome. And you get this nice shortwave map of the world in case you forget where you live, I guess. And then this big, let me get the tripod back in place. This big, this is the carry handle that you could fold down to make like a stand or footing for it. Or you can just fold it up and you got a carry handle, or you can fold it all the way back on top. The antenna is like a Grundig satellite, old school Grundig satellite. That sucker will go up and literally poke holes in the ceiling. And it's a nice, heavy, thick antenna. And no, it's a very nice radio. And, all right, so back to, so I had it outside on the telescopics against the Drake SW8, which is an excellent radio. And you don't realize that a radio is good or bad or medium unless you compare it against something that you know. So like tonight, or excuse me, this morning, either my Wellbrook is broken or propagation is in the toilet. Okay, it's one or the other. And I'm too lazy to go outside in the dark and try to see if the Wellbrook's working right. Taking it apart, cleaning out the contacts or whatever you call them, connections, that ain't happening. So what you do then in that case is, or what I do is I'll compare it to another radio. I just happen to have one right here. And that radio doesn't suck, okay? And the signals are coming in the same. But back to my point is, if you're just playing with this radio all by itself, it's a nice radio. The switches are great. The controls, everything working. It's all working. The interface is good. Everything works nice. But you don't know if it can actually receive or if it's selective or how sensitive it is unless you compare it to something that you know. And so when I had it out on the table, on the telescopics against that Drake SW8, go back and watch that video. It showed itself very well against a radio that has excellent, in my opinion, that Drake has incredible filters, plus not only the quality of the Drake filters, but the sizes that they chose to put into the radio. All right. And it has an excellent sync. I'm talking about the Drake now, the SW8. Same thing goes for the R8B. I put this radio on the table next to it, and this radio hung with it all the way. I was thoroughly impressed. I'm like, this radio doesn't suck either. I thought it might just been a gimmicky, pretty looking, good for FM only, maybe medium wave radio. You know, there are some of those out there, but no. It's a good damn radio. It's sensitive, it's selective. I won't be able to show you as much of the selectivity this morning as I wanted to because of the propagation. And I have been scolded on that topic before. I don't remember what radio it was, but I did a video on a radio and the propagation was literally the worst it's ever been in my life, or at least it seems like it. And some dude commented, "Why didn't you wait and do this video later?" I'm like, I didn't reply to him. I don't think I did. You can't talk. You can't have a conversation with a fence post. All right. So, but it's like, you think that this is all that I have, or this is all that I do, is make radio videos, right? No, there's other things going on in my life, all right? I got to pay the bills, got to keep the lights on, got to keep food on the table, right? Got to keep the tax man at bay, all right? So you got to work, all right? got to do other stuff, got family obligations, all right? And I actually have another hobby, all right? Believe it or not. So, yeah, sometimes it's you do the test when I can do the test. Like right now. I turned this thing on this morning. Actually turned it on last night. I was going to do this video last night. And the propagation was terrible then. And I'm like, well, I'll wait till the morning. If it's no better, I'm going to make the video because I'm leaving tomorrow for Christmas vacation and to go visit family and stuff. And it'll be a week plus before I get back. And hopefully by then I'll have those Grundigs that are coming in from Switzerland. And I'm not even remember I even own this radio until the novelty wears off on that stuff. So you get it when you get it. You got to strike while the iron is hot. So if that doesn't fit with your agenda, then maybe you should be watching a different channel. But anyway, let's try to do a little shortwave. So, BFO off. We're on automatic gain control. Band filter wide. We're on, see the meter drop? That's local, that's distant, DX. So there's a signal there. Very weak.
Father of lies, and they did what they thought was a
35.
Like me.
Always strong.
Do it my way. If you want to do it my way.
Reverend Freak Show. Very weak, thankfully. Same program on 5890. Nice. That was being sarcastic, by the way. 5850, maybe. Reverend Freak Show again. Nothing.
It might take a
Whoa, very strong.
I firmly believe this, that I would be able to pick out who the Christians are in those companies.
Index 16. The estimated planetary pole index at 1200 UTC on December 22nd was 3.00. Space weather for the past 12.
In case you don't know, that's CHU, same as what we just listened to, but they're not going to get it at 14 megahertz.
Continue 12 hours, 19 minutes.
We already listened to, I think that was a Gander radio when I first started the video. It was either a Gander or a Trenton. And like I said, the BFO was very easy to tune on this compared to a lot of other portable radios. I don't think I have anything else to say. Yeah, if there was, I mean, you know, we could go and try to do those close together signals. I don't even know if they're working this morning, or if, maybe we just can't get them. 6185. Put that narrow. It just sounds like a mess, but it sounds like that on every radio. wide. Narrow. This thing has nice, I like the filters on this. So if you watched my Sony SW77 video the other day, I think the narrow filter on that radio is just a little bit too narrow. This one I like, the filter selection, sizes. Reverend Freak Show. Something there. Something there. Something there. Toronto.
Winter sale runs December 3rd to 31st. Prices like these won't
Radio Marti. I think this is broadcast out of like Florida or Tennessee, I think. And that's why it's always strong. That's it. But that's the Magnavox D Delta 2999 in a nutshell. And now you know a little bit more about it. I highly recommend it. It's a very nice radio. To me, the quality of the controls and the switches, and you can feel it when you're working them, it makes a lot of difference in a radio. And this has that high quality of the components, and it actually works well. So I wish the propagation was better. I wish I could show you some more stuff, but it is what it is. So 28 minutes. Thanks for hanging out.